Recording. 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to the Beauty Birds podcast. We hope that you are staying safe, staying healthy, and staying the fuck home. We've decided to continue on with our Beauty Birds After Dark specials for the foreseeable future, which means nothing different for you, but we get to drink and give it a cute name. So makeup on, booze in hand, Tara and Beka here to talk about shit we like. And today, we're having some fun with a new tag that Tara recommended, found, discovered, whatever.
Yeah, I saw this tag. So I saw it from Abby Williamson, who is a YouTuber that I follow. And she, I think, found it from a smaller creator who goes by the name of Kara C on YouTube. And I checked out her channel and immediately gave her a follow because she is really cool and kind of really fun to watch. So everyone go check out both of those creators because they are now two of my favorites. But yeah, it's kind of just a tag to keep calm. It's things that make us calm, things that make us happy, because everything around us is not calm and happy right now.
Feels like a weird time to recommend that people buy something, and yet we have the perfect thing if you, like me, are terrible at self-induced relaxation. That sounds not right. I have a really hard time just sitting down and relaxing. So we were very fortunate to be sponsored by the Health Tea Book Crate, which is a self-care subscription box, basically. You want to talk about it?
Yeah, so it is a bi-monthly in the sense that it is every other month, not every 2 weeks, bi-monthly box where it is a book, a female author, a new release, and usually signed, right?
Mm-hmm. Signed.
New release book, and a tea or a coffee. Those are the two staples that you will get in every single box. And then surrounding those two things are self-care items, either bath bombs. I know one time she had a chocolate bar in there, which was delicious.
Yeah.
Candles, other kind of bath accessories. I know she's done some oil rollers, just really cute self-care items that kind of get thrown to the wayside when shit hits the fan. So that is the perfect thing for right now, is to take a step back, read a book, drink some tea, and put yourself in a different world, because the one we were in is not going to be in right now.
So Health Tea Book Crate very kindly gifted me a box. I imagine you as well, though I know you've gotten them before.
Yeah.
But I was super pumped for this, and I actually did a live unboxing on our Instagram at Beauty Birds Podcast. Was that yesterday? I don't know what day it is. Anyway, I recorded it. I saved it in the highlights, which means it doesn't matter what day it is. You can still go onto our Instagram and look through it. But it was a really exciting box, and we are very excited because we have a code. Woo! We have a code. You can use the code BeautyBirds for 10% off and get yourself a box, or get your mom a box, or get your sister a box, or, get yourself a couple, because they're all different.
That's the other thing I wanted to include, is that it is all female-owned small business people that she supports and puts in the box every month. So super rad.
We are all in. We love a woman-owned business. We love some women authors. I'm actually on well, I guess I'm not super strict. Last year, I was on a mission to only read women authors the entire year. This year, I'm 80-20. In that, I've already read a book that was written by a man. Anyway, Beauty Birds for 10% off at healthteabookcrate.com, and we will link it in the blog post for this episode.
Yes.
And now, do you want to tell me what you're drinking?
Oh, yeah. Okay, ready? Hold on. I don't know if you can pick this up in the mic or not. But this is some good old Natty Light seltzer.
Nice. Flavored?
Aloha Beaches is the flavor.
That sounds like you.
Yep, it is. And
is there coconut?
Mango and peach. It's actually really good.
I was impatient to open my can.
Oh, you happened to get me at the end of one can, at the start of another can.
I am drinking, this might be my last can of it actually, but the Austin East Ciders.
Ooh.
Which East Ciders? I think it's such a cute play on words, but I'm drinking their sangria cider.
Yeah.
And It's really good. Also,
I
their
love
little
them.
tagline is "How do you like them apples?" and I love that. Let's not talk about the calories.
Right? They do not exist in these beverages. Thank you very much for not asking.
Yeah, calories are not valid while we're recording.
Is there anything on your face that you wanted to highlight?
I did my eyes in 2 different colorways today, which I've kind of always wanted to do, but sort of been intimidated by. And then I realized I don't have to use the greens and blues that scare me. So I did one in like bright orange yellow, which is very Beka, and the other one in like pink and purple, which is
Which is also very Beka.
also very Beka. And then per your recommendation, I actually used an eyeshadow as a blush.
Oh
And
my god, it's my
I was just kind of nervous too because I feel like I have a heavy hand, but I have this duo fiber brush from Real Techniques, which is like the only blush brush I'll ever use in my life. But I feel like it actually came out kind of nice. I think
It
it's
awesome.
it looks a little bit more intense in person than is showing up on camera, but still like super wearable. Like I would totally wear this out to dinner or like an evening bar adventure or something.
What are those?
When we're allowed to do that again.
I keep seeing memes that are like, does anybody remember places? It's like, oh, no.
There's actually a really great bar that I love going to. It's about 10 feet that way in my living room.
Oh, it's the living room. I thought you were going to say like 10 feet, you're in the city, but.
No, I meant in my, across, down my hallway and into my like dining living space. We braved the liquor store today. I mean, I'm probably good for like a solid 6 months. If need
Damn,
be.
okay, we did not do that well.
We already had a lot of, we had some good stuff. We've been enjoying bourbon a lot. And I've gotten really into tequila. So like we got some rye, we got some mezcal, we got some beer, bottle of wine. We're good. We're good for a bit.
You know, stinking Pennsylvania and their stupid liquor rules where it's like there's a beer store for beer.
Oh yeah, this is new for you. This is what I grew up with.
This is so dumb.
Okay, so in Pennsylvania, for those that don't know, you can only buy liquor and wine at the liquor store. And you can only buy beer either at a bottle shop, which usually has a massive markup, or at a beer distributor where you buy it a case or a keg at a time. But yeah, the blue laws in Pennsylvania are quite strict. Sorry.
That's so dumb. So yeah, we went to a beer store, so I got cider. I wanted to go to a liquor store, but like we live in Pittsburgh, so it is like still a big city. And the liquor store by us is like in the city. So we kind of just were like, let's just go to the beer store around the corner and hope for the best. So yeah, we got Keystone and Natty Ice.
That counts as self-care.
You know?
This counts as self-care. Please drink responsibly. Don't drink and drive because you shouldn't be leaving your house.
Right, you shouldn't be driving. Don't
go anywhere.
Don't drive.
Okay. So talk to me about this. What is it? Keep calm and tag on.
Yeah, so it's just a little tag I thought we would do that was kind of just like what makes you calm, what helps you relax. And I think right now, so like I've actually been battling besides a wealth of anxiety and everything else, just like getting on here and talking about makeup and recommending products and talking about like the beauty industry in general, because I feel like right now to me it kind of took a backseat and feels a little more trivial to like recommend products and say like, oh, go buy this, go do that. So
I think it's been nice. I've had some people reach out and be like, I really appreciate the normalcy of it.
Okay, I can get behind that for sure.
Like I think us recording is good for my brain because we're just talking about like regular unimportant shit.
Yeah, speaking of, my best distraction right now has been Animal Crossing because like I will just dive into that and spend a couple hours there instead of like refreshing the Reddit coronavirus subreddit.
Wait, did you even read the first question yet?
No, I didn't get there yet.
The first question is, what is your favorite way to relax and unwind, which we just started talking about without going over the question. But I see your Animal Crossing and I raise you TikTok.
Yeah, so, but anyway, what I was going to say is just like, I have had a problem talking about makeup and like doing the normalcy thing. So I thought at least for me, for just one episode, I wanted to take a step back and talk about different ways to relax, unwind, and like how to be calm right now.
I'm into it. I get it.
And
My brain is like,
I know. You texted me and you were like, I touched a hand.
and we picked up food today, and like there was a table between us, and she could have just put the food on the table, and she just insisted on handing it to me. And like every which way I tried, our hands touched, and I like almost had a meltdown in the car.
So yeah, this is kind of like this is our 1 week where we talk about us not doing great and just how we're relaxing. And then we promise you we will go back to our regularly scheduled content of makeup and other fun things like that. But for now,
I'm here to be a lifestyle influencer. We can build our empire on multiple like industries. Anyway,
yeah,
what is your favorite way to relax and unwind?
In general, I kind of just like sitting on my couch and drinking a glass of wine and hanging out with the people that I enjoy most, which right now I have a limited choice, and it is Devin and Marshall. Not that I don't enjoy them. I do. I love them both very much. But I wait till Marshall goes to sleep, and then Devin and I sit on the couch and we kind of just like chill, throw on a TV show. Usually, like, honestly, the two of us just sit there and go into a YouTube deep dive a lot. And drink
Bon Appetit Test Kitchen?
A Bon Appetit, we have pretty much watched it all. We have found ourselves in such a recommendation weird spot where it's just like now we get videos that are like restoring toys from 1950, and it's like, how did we get here? But yeah, so that is like our favorite way to relax and unwind, is just to hang out with each other, drink some wine, and hang out. But recently, like I said earlier, I bought Animal Crossing, and I've kind of just been throwing on my emo indie music Spotify playlist while Devin plays video games with his friends, and like coming into the room, throwing that on, and then playing some Animal Crossing for a couple hours after Marshall sleeps, and just hanging out.
That's legit.
Drinking my naughty ice.
I didn't really grow up with video games. Like, they're not super fun for me. However, I kicked Nick's ass at Not the other day.
What is Not?
It's kind of like a puzzle game where there's like a cube and it gives you an instruction, and you have to go either like left, right, up, or down. But then it'll be like not down.
Oh.
Or like not up, which means up. But it's like a timed thing. I kicked his ass. It was great. But that's like the most I've ever. Anyway, video games not really what I'm doing. But lots of TikTok.
Yeah.
God, it's so bad. Mostly like animal stuff, but also like funny cosplay with cute music. And then my friend Chloe was like, here's a dude that talks about gardening a lot, and I'm real into that one right now. I got Nick kind of hooked on the Bon Appetit YouTube channel.
Yeah.
I cook a lot. I mean, I cook a lot anyway, but it's been like either chill emo like playlist, not like 2000s emo, but like present day, real chill, like kind of electronic, sad stuff, or like audiobook, headphones in, cook for like 4 hours. Also, I'm now really great at puzzles. I love those two.
Hey, hold on, Devin's here. Okay, hold on.
What is that monstrosity?
Hold on, it's enough.
Oh, wait, hold on. He's gonna want to see what I have too. Hold on.
Hold on, Beka, her boyfriend has a 3D printer, and she's showing me something ridiculous.
I almost have it working.
If you were talking to me, I took my headphones off.
This is incredible. Oh, it's the octopus with the chains.
Yeah. This one's almost good.
That one's
I didn't show you Nick printed that like key thing for me for like tubes that are almost empty.
Devin printed me a flamingo one of that.
What? I want a flamingo one.
I'll send you a picture later. I don't feel like.
So like the one Nick printed is like an old timey.
I love that one too.
Kind of my jam. Anyway,
I love that both of our spouses are very on brand with us.
Yeah. I forget what we were talking about.
How we relax. I was talking about puzzles and how they are not relaxing. You were talking about puzzles and how they are relaxing.
Yeah, I really enjoy puzzles. It took Nick and me, I think we probably spent like 8 hours, not in one night, but like across 2 nights on like a 750 piece puzzle. And then I was like, cool, here's a 1,000 piece puzzle. But we've been like, we both like a cocktail. Nick's been really enjoying his like old fashioned. He's
Yeah.
been like cultivating his perfect cocktail, and I'm just like, yeah, I'll drink whatever. That's not true. He likes bourbon, and I prefer the rye.
Okay.
But anyway, a drink,
I mean,
a puzzle, a YouTube. We also just finished the series finale of The Magicians, which, man, they like those writers nailed it. All 5 seasons of that were fantastic. If you like fantasy stuff, it's basically like a bunch of people, like adult grad school age people, find it. It's like Hogwarts grad school. Like people in their 20s find out that they're magicians and shit hits the fan.
oh, that's actually really rad.
It's great. And now there's all 5 seasons of it it's over.
Oh.
And I've been trying to read. Trying being the operative word.
Yeah, we actually have been cooking a lot too. We're not like Beka level cooks, but like we fucks with some homemade dough, and like it is our goal, because Pittsburgh sucks at pizza and Italian food, to like perfect the homemade
Really?
pizza. Oh my god.
Wow.
They're great at a lot of things. They have good barbecue and good, that time that I texted you that like I went missing because I had really good brisket. Like they're really good at some stuff, but Italian food is not it here.
Because when I think of good barbecue while living in Texas, I definitely think of Pittsburgh.
You know what? Pittsburgh has an interesting cuisine. I don't want to say they lack a cuisine, but I'm going to say they lack a cuisine.
What's like Philly's got cheesesteaks. Austin has
New
like
York
tacos and barbecue. What's Pittsburgh got?
pierogies and pickles.
But pierogies are delicious.
Pierogies are delicious. I'll give them that, but pierogies aren't a cuisine.
Polish food? Russian food? Eastern Europe. Well, I can see why you would think Eastern European food is not really a cuisine. Anybody getting offended, I'm allowed to say that because I am that. So unbunch your panties.
I also couldn't find, because I'm from New York and New Jersey, so like growing up, I kind of only ate Italian or Jewish cuisine.
My girl.
Yeah. So moving to Pittsburgh, like you can't find a bagel to save your life. And I
even in
remember
like like larger Jewish population areas.
Oh, I'm getting there. So I went to a larger Jewish population kind of area in Pittsburgh. I think it was either Squirrel Hill or Shady Side. I confuse the two all the time. Either way, they have like a whole area where there's a bunch of Jewish delis, and I was like, yes, this is it. I'm so stoked. Like, this is my bagel. This is my like pastries. I'm here. It wasn't it.
You know, you could make bagels.
We're getting there. So like,
oh, is that your mission? Is with the dough? Is that you want to make bagels?
Yeah, if yeast was available anywhere right now.
I don't want to talk about it.
I don't either. Like, we were just getting the perfect pizza like dough, but now there's no yeast because everybody thinks that they're suddenly gonna make bread to survive. Like, okay.
This is funny because I have been a chicken shit about making bread for like a couple of years.
And now you want to make bread.
Well, but I had been like getting closer because now I have a couple of friends that like make bread, and I was like, okay, it seems a lot less intimidating. And then like all of this started to happen, and I was like, you know what? We're stuck in the house. Maybe now is like a good time. I've never made challah myself.
Yeah.
And like I just really wanted to do that, and now it's been like a month of I can't find yeast.
No, and I'm getting really frustrated because on the one hand, I understand people are doing the same thing that we're doing, where we're like, you know what, we're stuck in the house. Let's try to perfect like the pizza dough, the challah bread.
Okay, I'm going to be really judgmental and say that half the people that bought all the yeast only eat like frozen food anyway and put that shit back.
That is my judgmental, judgy comments about all of the stuff that I can't find right now, because like we also, Devin and I are like, our cuisine when we cook is Mexican food. Like, we have perfected the Mexican cuisine in
Can
our
you
home.
talk about me being an oatfluencer and your amazing enchilada oats that I
Oh my god, they're so good. The only thing I've ever known about oats before knowing you was that people do like overnight desserty oats.
no.
Oh my
Wrong.
god. Oh my god. I threw some Valentina and some chicken stock. I'm trying to think what else I put in there. I might have put like a
Okay,
couple of like hot sauces here and
don't
there.
judge
Oh my
me.
god.
What is Valentina?
Oh, it's actually like a really good enchilada sauce. You
Oh,
buy it by the gallon. It is so good.
okay.
I'm gonna put a picture in our blog
I
post.
think I was thinking of like the chicken bouillon cubes.
No, so that's chicken stock.
Oh, I think what is that brand called? Veg. It's also something with a V, and I thought you were like crushing a cube of that, and I was like, oh god.
Oh god. No. This is
Okay, I'm down
Valentina.
for
It is
enchilada sauce.
really,
Wait,
really
you put
good hot
enchilada
sauce.
sauce on the raw oats?
So what I did was chicken stock, Valentina, and then like a dab of this New Orleans style habanero sauce. I'm trying to think what else I put in it. I put like a bunch of stuff in the overnight oats to like spice them up a little bit.
Huh.
Oh, it was so good. Yeah, so Becca's an oatfluencer, for those of you who don't know. She has perfected the savory oats to eat them with any kind of like meal that isn't dessert, and it is unbelievable. If you do not follow her already, you should go follow her because everything that she posts is delicious. And I have not even tasted it, but like it is delicious. The pictures are delicious.
Well, A, when you move to Austin, I will cook for you all the time. And B, I think that puts us right into question number 2, which is what is your favorite comfort food?
Oh.
But it's not oats.
Okay, so Devin and I love to cook, and like we dabble in a bunch of cuisines and we go ham on making a lot of things from scratch. Like that is our favorite thing to do aside from sitting around watching YouTube videos and going into like a dark hole of YouTube videos, right?
Okay.
My favorite comfort food is Kraft mac and cheese.
I mean, that's a thing from the youths though. Like if that's a thing you ate growing up, I totally get it.
And like my friends will fight me on this because I've said this. It is truly an unpopular opinion. Like people say unpopular opinions all the time, and it's like, no, that's actually a very popular opinion.
All
Like,
right,
no,
let's hear it.
Kraft mac and cheese is better than homemade mac and cheese. Fight me. You know my username. Come find me.
They're very different.
Or terrible. Come fight me.
They're very different things.
They are. They're very different things, but like I think at the end of the day, I prefer Kraft over like restaurant made mac and cheese.
So obviously in Austin, there's a ton of barbecue. There's a barbecue restaurant called Terry Black's. And now when I want mac and cheese, their mac and cheese is what I'm craving. But it's closer to, it's like a homemade version of Kraft.
Yeah.
Rather than like, I'm going to make it fancy. It's not that. It's not fancy. It's like the sauce is like very thin and like liquidy. It's very cheesy. I think that they use shells.
Okay, that's getting you closer. Like the elbows that are like the bigger elbows that get too soft, they're not like al dente enough. I don't know. Just mac and cheese that isn't Kraft loop.
I hate al dente pasta.
What?
Sorry. Cook that shit. I don't want toothsome pasta. Nick is Italian, like first gen.
Yeah.
Also does not like al dente pasta.
Unbelievable.
We are soulmates.
Unbelievable. Me and Devin have like yelled at people for their overcooked pasta before.
I don't eat pasta at my house. My comfort food, which will come as no surprise to anybody who's followed me on Instagram, is Thai curry. Well, like Thai curry that I make, which is not in any way authentic. It's just spicy and delicious. But that's kind of my, like if I have a crappy day or I'm just real high strung, which is always, that's what I want. I want Thai curry. I want barbecue. I want tacos all the time. I didn't know how much I like tacos. I mean, like, tacos are great. But now I'm somewhere where I can have them always.
Yeah.
And I always want them.
They're so good.
There's never a time where I'm like, nah, I don't want tacos. I always want tacos.
No, honestly, Mexican food is probably my favorite cuisine, but comfort food, Kraft mac and cheese.
True comfort food. Yeah. Thai curry. Thai curry.
Thai curry.
Specifically with the Thai and True red curry paste, which is like made locally in Oregon, and I bought like 6 jars of it before we moved.
That's pretty awesome. The next question, ASMR, creepy or relaxing?
Depends.
I'm
Depends
gonna
on what
go
it is.
with, I don't think it's creepy, it's just not for me.
I don't think it gives me the whatever tingly autonomous, what is it,
Yeah.
autonomous sensory whatever.
Yeah.
I don't think I like experience that for the most part. But I will say those like Instagram videos of like the soap cutting,
Yeah.
really
They're like,
sort of soothing.
yeah.
And
Or
like the
like the
kinetic
soap cleaning, like
sand, I like that.
yeah.
But I
Is
know
that
that there's
ASMR?
yeah, it's supposed to
I
be. But I know that there's like videos of people like walking through a haircut in a very soothing whisper, and it like makes you want to die.
Yeah, those kind of videos were never something that were for me. And like if someone I follow posts something like that, I kind of just skip over it. But now that you've mentioned the soap thing.
So Sharon Farrell, YouTuber, she's Irish but now lives in Australia. She did like an ASMR makeup tutorial maybe like a year ago, 2 years ago. I don't know, a while ago. But actually that I really enjoyed.
Oh,
I will have to
interesting.
link that in the thing. I don't like seek it out typically though.
Yeah, I definitely don't seek it out. I tend to avoid.
Who is your rock?
Oh,
What an
it's
intense question.
Devin.
Oh, how long have you guys been together?
We started dating, hanging out, whatever you want to call it, in 2011.
Oh,
I know. Yeah.
my rock is Nick. Shocking.
Yeah.
I'm really close with my mom.
That's nice. She likes all her stuff.
She has strong opinions,
Okay.
but we're tight most of the time. No, Nick is really oh God, I'm sorry in advance. He's my best friend.
Yeah, same.
I'm sorry. I have more in common with him in like very weird ways than like anything I had in common with my best friend growing up.
Yeah. How long
Music
have you guys been
especially.
together?
We met in 2011.
Oh, okay.
We started dating in 2012. He
Okay.
actually oh God, I hope he doesn't mind me telling the story. He made a move and I said no. And then like after us okay, rewind. We met on OkCupid. We were friends for like 6 months. He made a move and I was like, no, I'm not ready. I'm still like in party mode in college. He stopped talking to me. And then I was like, oh shit.
Oh no.
And then we didn't talk for like 6 months. And then we started talking again. And he took me to a concert. It was the Gin Blossoms, Marcy Playground, Lit, Sugar Ray, and Everclear. It was like a 90s. It's called the Summerland Tour in Atlantic City.
Oh, that's awesome.
Lit is like one of my favorite bands from like when I was growing up, like from junior high, early high school. Lit was, I love them. I probably know like every word to at least 2 or 3 of their albums.
Oh, speaking of music and like albums, I want to put my like indie emo playlist on the blog for like comfort music. Do we want to put like playlists up?
Sure.
Okay, cool. Anyway, Lit, Sugar Ray.
We went to the concert and I was like, okay, this is it. I'm going to be with this person forever. And here we are almost 8 years later.
So cute.
He's my best friend.
Aww.
Sorry, Jen, I love you too. You're also my best friend, but it's different.
Yeah, no, Devin's definitely my rock, my best friend. We just like, I don't know, we just enjoy hanging out with each other.
Nick's my favorite person to hang out with and like do stuff with.
So yeah, I hope you guys
that was
out
really
there
cheesy.
have yourself a rock. Doesn't have to be your significant other by any means, but
yeah, bio family, chosen family, whatever. And I think one thing that used to really drive me crazy that I've come to appreciate more as an adult is when I was younger and I would say like something my friend, my parents would always be like, no, that person is not your friend. It's an acquaintance. Like if we haven't met them, it's not like a real true friend.
Yeah.
And as I've gotten older, I've been like, okay, that was like real extra, but also quality over quantity.
Yeah.
Like if you have one or two people that are really solid, you're doing better than most.
Yeah. I actually think that I'm so much happier now, having like a small handful of friends that like I trust and talk to all the time rather than like in college I was in a sorority and like had a bunch of like friends, I guess.
I did not know that about you.
Fun fact. But yeah, I
A new disappointment every day.
that's what I'm here for. But yeah, I'm like a lot happier now having like the few people that I talk to on a daily basis, especially now social distancing. It like really shows who I guess the people that I choose to talk to all the time are.
There are 3 people I talk to regularly outside of like Nick and like my mom and my sister, and you are one of them.
You too. But yeah, just I hope people have some kind of a rock. Honestly, Lando's my rock sometimes too. Or like if he's just down to snuggle, like your dog can be your rock.
Frank, he's on the struggle bus this week. We're working on some like training and behavioral stuff. Not really because he was like doing anything bad, but I think we could all use a little bit more like boundaries and confidence building. He's kind of
Yeah.
a wuss about like strange things. I mean, not strange things, but like he's really scared of thunder.
About the 1,000 thunderstorms you guys get in a single night in Austin.
But yeah, he's having a rough week.
Yeah. What color makes you happy?
Neons.
Yes.
I fucking love them all. Ooh, I don't think we're supposed to curse.
Oh, we have been. I don't know if you've noticed.
I've been trying not to, but I love neons. I love it in my clothes. I love it in my makeup. There's like few things that make me feel like more confident when I'm like going out than like a bright lipstick.
Yes.
I love a neon.
I'm gonna go with a tropical color palette.
Shocking.
Should come as no surprise, but anything that reminds me of the beach makes me happy, and I will say that a tropical color palette like aqua, retro blue, so like that teal blue.
Yeah.
All of our kitchen appliances are now that color. It sparks joy.
It should spark joy. If
As
it
the
doesn't
children
spark joy, throw it out. Get rid of it. Put it in a meat grinder. Who cares?
What part of your makeup routine do you find the most relaxing?
Probably eyeshadow.
Yeah?
Yeah, well, I mean, it can get frustrating, but like that's usually where I can be the most creative and like, oh, what colors do I want to smack on my face today? Whereas other than lipstick, which is really like the same shape basically every time.
Yeah.
But like my face, my base is basically the same every time.
You know, I agree. I only have so many products, so like when I do my face, it's the same like this, then that kind of routine.
I feel like where your face and your lipstick are effectively the same routine, even though you can change the colors. Eyeshadow, you can change the shape, you can change the like style, like you can have a lighter color on the inner half and the darker on the outer half, or you can do like a halo, or there's a lot more shape and like creative options and opportunities to play with. And I don't know, that's kind of where I get to like have the most fun, I feel like.
Yeah, I think I agree. I don't know what the alternative would be. So I think eyeshadow is the most relaxing, even though sometimes it's frustrating when like something shows up patchy or like you mess up and like there's fallout. But I suppose it is definitely the most relaxing because I really do enjoy using like offbeat colors and experimenting. And honestly, sometimes I'll do something and I'll be like, you know what, that wasn't it. And then just like use a makeup wipe, take it off, put it back on.
Sorry for anybody watching. My chair is on its way out and it keeps like slowly lowering. Um, I think it's an interesting question because the next question is what beauty product sparks joy for you, and I think what I find relaxing and what sparks joy are not necessarily the same thing.
Yeah, I think I agree.
What sparks joy for you?
What beauty product sparks joy for me is mostly my skincare.
Yeah?
Yeah, like that, not setting sprays, but like any kind of skincare mist sparks joy, like spraying it on for some reason. I just feel like so relaxed in that moment. I think
I guess
setting sprays and mist kind of like bring me to a summer feel
I can see that.
where like the Youth to the People adaptogen mist is so fine that like when I spray it on, it almost feels like I'm being refreshed in a summer setting specifically.
I guess I would add skincare to a relaxing thing, but what beauty product sparks joy? Lipstick.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I love lipstick. I have a lot of lipstick. I love having all like kinds of bright colors and different formulas. If I like retail therapy is usually a lipstick.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely know that about you. Because I've seen you go down the rabbit hole and be like, you know what? I ordered an orange and now I'm thinking that there are actually like 40 different shades of orange and I only have 4 of the different shades, so I should probably get the rest of the 36 that I'm missing.
I'm trying to show my lipsticks on the camera.
It's beautiful.
There we go. Yeah, I would say that sparks the most joy because it like finishes a look and it's like, boom, I have put my power back on my face.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and agree with that. A lot of my makeup and beauty sparks joy for me. That's why we are here doing what we do.
Yeah, that's fair.
We love makeup. So I'm gonna go ahead and say like all of it sparks joy, but the setting spray takes me, or like not setting spray, I keep calling it that, but like any kind of skincare mist. Yeah, any kind of mist takes me to a setting that is very specific in my brain. But eyeshadow, I think, sparks most joy for me. Like I'm sitting here with a sugar pill palette and like seeing, okay, here's the thing. Like in a design way, seeing different color palettes and like having them all be visually pleasing to me sparks a lot of joy.
I don't think that there's any part of makeup that like actively does not spark joy. Like I can get hype about like new eyebrow products too.
Concealer and foundation doesn't spark joy to me.
But like exploring new ones, I get pumped about it. I like it all. I mean, there's a reason we have a freaking podcast about it.
We both love makeup, and I would say that beauty in general, skincare, makeup, nail polish, all sparks joy.
Yes.
We love it all.
What TV shows or podcasts are you currently binging? You should all be binging our podcast, the Beauty Birds podcast.
And if you're quarantined and you're like, well, I'm not sitting around listening to podcasts, I understand that. We're also on YouTube, so you have
you can go watch it on YouTube. Anyway, what TV shows or podcasts are you binging, listening to, watching, whatever?
Devin and I are watching a couple of series are like together, and that would be The Expanse we're catching up on. We just finished Curb Your Enthusiasm, which I know you have a lot of feelings about.
Nick is watching it right now, or like he was before we started recording. I went in the kitchen and he was watching, and I guess Nick Kroll is on this episode, and my first thought was, oh, I liked him so much. What a shame. I honestly hate Curb Your Enthusiasm so much.
I've never showed you these. Hold on, I'm getting something. I know you hate it.
If it's a reference, I'm not going to get it because I've barely sat through like one episode.
You're going to understand it.
No. Tara is holding up a pair of sweatpants that has Larry David's face on it a lot of times.
It's Larry David sweatpants. I'll link the Etsy shop, despite Beka's protest.
I don't know if I'm going to let that go in the blog post. I'm going to remove it. I seriously hate Curb Your Enthusiasm so much.
We've been binging lighthearted comedy that distracts us from the world.
That's fair. I find Curb so infuriating.
Yeah, that's the point.
I don't like cringe comedy in general.
There's not a lot of cringe comedy I enjoy, but for some reason...
I didn't watch The Office either.
Oh, okay. I guess there is a lot of cringe comedy I enjoy because I really enjoy The Office too.
I think I've now said it in like 2 or 3 episodes, but we have been watching The Magicians, which I'm deeply in love with and might be like possibly one of my favorite shows ever.
Yeah.
But the series finale just aired last week, and so we just finished that. We're a little behind, but typically we also watch Outlander and Peaky Blinders, and a lot of Bon Appetit Test Kitchen YouTube, and also Joshua Weissman on YouTube.
Who?
Joshua Weissman, he's actually pretty young. I think he's only like 24 maybe, but he lives in Austin now, but he's also like a food tube.
A foodie food tube.
I think he was working in restaurants and maybe recently left to be YouTube full time, but I think he like got famous, quote unquote, because he lost a lot of weight when he was like a young teenager. I think he like published a cookbook when he was like 19 or something.
Oh, that's rad.
But anyway, his YouTube channel is very entertaining. And I haven't been listening to a ton of podcasts, but mostly because I've been listening to audiobooks. Huh? Sorry, what?
Because we're busy doing our own podcast.
Because we're busy recording our own podcast. I do really like Unorthodox. I do really like This Might Get Weird and Just Between Us.
Okay.
But really, if I'm not like driving regularly, I really don't listen to that many podcasts.
That's my problem too. And like, so the podcasts that I do listen to are the ones that are also on YouTube, I've been finding. Like, I listen to The Minimalist because I'm just like a raging minimalist where I like to throw my stuff away every season pretty much.
Oh, you and my mom would get along great.
I love it. I love destashing. I love getting rid of things I don't need. And not even like a Marie Kondo way. So, okay, Marie Kondo, phenomenal, adorable. I love her. I want to put her in my pocket and take her everywhere I go. But the people that I listen to for like minimalism in general are the minimalists, because the way that it was described is like the Marie Kondo method is like the how to get rid of your stuff, and the minimalists are kind of like the why to get rid of your stuff. And they have a podcast that is also on YouTube, which is great because then I can throw it on the TV. And then I've been a Jenna Marbles subscriber and follower since I was in like high school.
Really? I haven't watched her in years, but I used to love her.
So I haven't either. And then like I randomly heard that she started making like, I don't want to say YouTuber videos, but like she kind of was doing that thing where she was like
parody ones.
Yes, and they were god honest hysterical. And like I hadn't watched her in years, but like a year or two ago I picked back up, and she has adapted and like grown so much since I watched her when I was like 12 or 13 that she is.
I always forget that you're like a million years younger than me.
But like she has grown so much and like is still so funny, but like has changed and learned and like has grown to be such a different person that like younger me found hysterical, but now older me also found really hysterical too, and very wholesome. But she has a podcast with her boyfriend. That was the point of this ramble. And I will throw that on because they are also on YouTube. So pretty much podcasts with YouTubes are what I watch.
There's a couple. Hold on, I'm gonna pull up my podcast app. I really like. Oh, that's weird. I don't like how you guys did that. There's also a podcast called Off Menu with Ed Gamble and James Acaster. James is a British comedian who I am deeply in love with. And it's really funny. They basically have like different people on the episode each week, and I'm going to read the description and then you're going to roll your eyes at me for why I like this. Comedians Ed Gamble and James Acaster invite special guests into their magical restaurant to each choose their favorite starter, main course, side dish, dessert, and drink, and basically craft their dream meal for Off Menu.
Okay, that kind of sounds cool.
But there's like episodes with like Paul F. Tompkins and Ronnie Chang and Catherine Ryan and Greg Davis, who's like one of my favorite comedians, Kumail Nanjiani. There's so many people. Marcus Samuelsson, who's actually a chef, was on.
Okay.
Anyway, that's a really good one. And then This Might Get Weird is Grace Helbig and Mamrie Hart's podcast. And Just Between Us is Gabby Dunn and Allison Raskin's podcast.
Okay, yeah.
They are former BuzzFeed people.
I noticed that our Beauty Birds podcast follows them, so I've kind of been checking them out.
And then Approachable, I listen to sometimes, which
Same.
is Samantha Ravindal, who's also like a YouTuber, and then her best friend, Alyssa Anderson.
Yeah, their topics have to really grab me for me to tune in, but I have listened to a couple of episodes and enjoyed it.
I will say they did an episode on addiction with Sam's husband, and we've talked a little bit about it before, but that's kind of the field that I have worked in for the last few years and where I'd like to continue working when all of this is over. And that was a really fantastic episode.
That was a really, really good episode, actually. But yeah, they have some good episodes, and they're also a podcast that is on YouTube as well.
Yes.
Like I keep like reiterating that point because right now it's kind of just like everybody.
I really wish Unorthodox was, which is kind of a Jewish podcast, but it's actually like super entertaining and funny, and I don't think you have to be Jewish to enjoy it. Like they have different guests, and they had like people from bakeries in Detroit on one episode. Anyway, I kind of wish that they had a YouTube or something because I'm like so many episodes behind now. Because I've been listening to a lot of audiobooks.
Oh, that is a good way to unwind and relax and like leave this world as well.
Yeah, I've been trying to read more. So I usually just have music on in the kitchen, but I've been trying to do audiobooks. And so when it comes down to podcast or audiobook, I'm like, okay, but I can get closer to like my reading goal for the year with an audiobook.
Yeah.
So.
There is a photography podcast that I listen to that like only recently went from, they are on like podcast apps, whatever, but also YouTube. And then recently we're like, oh, you know what? Let's just do like a little clip of our podcast on YouTube and like only have it on podcast sites. And I just want to like message them and be like, yo, bring it back because we're home. I just want to see you guys now.
Yeah.
We will link all of our podcasts and everything we watch and enjoy in this episode, which will be really fun because I love sharing joy.
Should I talk about books too?
You can talk about books. I'm going to sound like an absolute imbecile because I have nothing for you on that one other than...
You have an 8-month-old. You're fine. So I've got 2 books right now. One is strictly audiobook, and the other one I actually borrowed both the Kindle version and the audiobook version so I can bounce between them. But one is called Word Slut by Amanda Montell, and it's a feminist guide to taking back the English language. She's so good. It's funny, but she's like really smart, and I just am super enjoying it. And the other book I'm reading, which always has like a reaction from people, is called Stiff. It's The Curious Lives of Human Cadavers.
My sister-in-law is reading that because she is finishing up her residency, or I'm not sure if that's like the actual proper term, but for
Corey?
audiology. Yes.
I think she messaged me about it. She's lovely.
She
Hi,
is
Corey.
so lovely.
What song, artist, or genre always gets you pumped up? I think we have a little bit of crossover here, probably.
Okay. I am that meme of like I have 2 moods because I have my like emo indie side that gets me pumped up every once in a while, but then I also have been in the EDM house music realm since college. So that definitely gets me pumped up.
I feel like it depends on what I need to get pumped up for.
Yeah, like am I getting pumped up to cook in the kitchen, hang out, and have a relaxing night? Because emo music, sure, 100%. Am I trying to go out and have a phenomenal time with my friends? Because Swedish House Mafia, 9 out of 10 times.
I kind of go 3 different ways. One of like punk, pop punk.
Yeah.
Menzingers, Off With Their Heads, Bad Religion, Alkaline Trio are like old, like standing favorites, but not super what I'm listening to right now. But then I also get into like Avicii and like some dubstep and EDM, whatever. And then also, oh God, I'm going to admit this out loud on this podcast, but I love some country, like specifically the what everybody hates of like country pop. So like Casey Musgraves, well, I say everybody hates, but they're like crushing the charts. Casey Musgraves, Maren Morris, those are the two like real big ones that I listen to all the time.
You've been sending me songs on Spotify where you're like, yo, this is like a jam. And every time I'm expecting like this awesome pop punk song, and every single time it's like this like country pop song by some female artist where I'm like, wow, you know what? That was definitely a bop, but not what I was expecting.
Yeah, I kind of go punk, like white boy rap, and like electronic, and then like country.
Yeah, so specifically like early 2000s country reminds me of summer. So like that's kind of where I lay, is like the Jimmy Buffett country area. But like EDM, Avicii, Swedish House Mafia, Tiesto is like my absolute like pregame music, I guess I would call it. And then like pop, punk, indie, emo is like my chilling at home, trying to get in a better mood, myself pump up music.
I think my self pump up at home music is a lot of white boy rap. like Spose and Watsky a lot. I love Spose. I have been listening to Spose for like probably a decade.
And then we will cap this off with Who Makes You Happy on YouTube.
Makeup Mouse, who I've probably mentioned in like every single episode at this point. She's just so fantastic, and she's so creative, and she's lovely. Talented. She's super talented. She's funny, and she's clever, and she's so creative.
Yeah.
Bon Appetit Test Kitchen.
Ooh, yes. Claire, you don't have to do this to yourself with your gourmet makes.
Did you see the April Fool's Day episode?
No, I have not yet.
Oh, it was Chris Morocco and Brad did gourmet makes.
That's so cool. Okay, I'm definitely going to tune into that because I have not seen it yet. But yeah, I agree with you on Bon Appetit. They're one of my favorites.
Joshua Weissman, who I already mentioned.
Yep.
Hold on, I gotta look it up. I don't know who else I'm watching.
In the meantime, I will fire off my favorites because they are at the top of my head. Jenna Marbles, who I already mentioned, because she just honestly, like, her content is just so wholesome, where it just makes you feel like a better person having watched her videos. It's always something that like she felt like doing and just is happy. Nisi Pisa, who is just a like comedy legend, and she is so good at just like bringing a mood that you want to be into her video, and she's great at makeup, and she's really funny. And then her like entire crew of YouTubers are kind of where I lay right now. And then Lauren May is very inspiring. Like a lot of her looks that she's been doing are things that I'm like, you know what, damn, like she's great, I want to do that.
I like her a lot. I feel like I took a long break from makeup and like bright colors specifically when we were like getting ready to move, and watching her videos is what got me back into like doing the shit.
Yeah, so I think that's really it. Is like I'm just in the beauty sphere, and then there's a couple of photography YouTubers that I watch. That's kind of it. And like Bon Appetit.
One other food, Alton Brown has a YouTube channel, and he's hilarious when Food Network is not controlling what he says. He's so funny. Awesome. There's a channel called Never Too Small, and they show like how they make small living spaces more functional. Okay. A lot of it is like set in Australia, so it's usually like a very soothing Australian accent of like how they made this tiny studio apartment like highly functional, and I just find it really relaxing. And I also, Nick and I watch a lot of the videos on the Inked channel, like tattoo stuff. Like one of the videos we watched, I think that we watched it today, it was like the origin stories of different tattoo artists, of like how they got started. And then the Punk Rock MBA. I love that dude. Finn McKenty, I think his name is. But he like basically does like deep dive, super intense research on like punk rock stuff.
You know what, you sent me that one video about the Killers, right?
Yeah, it wasn't specifically about them, but it was like,
our topic of conversation was the Killers, but that was like a very good video explaining the Killers. Yeah, very good content.
But he's got stuff like, how did A Day to Remember become so popular, or like what killed, skate punk, and I think he does a great job. He actually also has a podcast, but like I want to watch I don't want to listen.
We're here to watch right now. No, incredible, very intriguing content. Because when we were talking about the Killers, because like I'm a big fan, and I've continued relentlessly tried to like their new releases, and I really just don't, and it makes me sad because I love Sam's Town and why am I blanking out on the other album? Either way, like one of my favorites, and it just makes me sad that like I don't relate to their newest releases. And the video explaining like why the Killers weren't like a band meant to withstand the test of time was like so accurate. But yeah, other than that, Devin streams a lot of videos, and just because he's working from home and he's in the living room and I hear Shroud on TV all the time, I'm kind of just like, you know what? I don't hate him.
I don't know what that is.
He's some gamer that streams on like Twitch or whatever the
Twitch
platform is. He got his start on Reddit and like kind of is soothing to listen to. He's not one of those gamers that is always yelling and like super hype. He's kind of just like, yeah, we're playing this game today, so chill out with me.
I'm going to send you this video. Sorry, I was looking through the punk rock MBA videos, but he's got an episode of like what killed Screamo covers, like the Punk Goes Pop albums.
Those are my fave.
Well, he does a whole video on them. But yeah, I'm actually glad we did this one because I feel like we shared a lot of other cool stuff that we're enjoying that other people
really
who are rightfully stuck inside their houses for the greater good can also enjoy.
Yeah, I'm stoked to put it all together in a blog post and like share our favorite YouTubers, playlists, and things like that. Yeah, so let's share all that, and I want everyone to tell us what they're listening to and watching because we are rapidly running out of stuff to watch. So if you have podcasts, if you have YouTubes and shows and playlists and stuff like that that you're listening to that you think we might enjoy, tell us because eventually we're going to run out of shows. And
yeah, tweet at us at BeautyBirdsPod or either comment on the actual blog post, or when this goes live, we'll post a link to the blog post on our Facebook page and you can comment there too. But we want to know, what are you listening to? What are you watching? What are you reading? What makes you happy? And say nice things about us too.
And thank you again to our sponsor, Healthy Book Crate, for sending us cool boxes and giving us a code, which if you forgot is Beauty Birds for some money off your subscription. And it is a wonderful self-care box with books and tea and women-owned businesses and just a lot of good stuff. Don't forget to do self-care during this time.
Be nice to yourself. You don't exist to lose weight and die, and you don't constantly have to be productive. This is a scary and weird time, but also don't be a dick.
Yeah, stay inside. Think about other people. And then follow us on Instagram at Beauty Birds Podcast and ourselves at Tara at simply_terrible and Beka and Eggs, because we fire off some memes here and there and post some cool content that we enjoy and we think you might too.
Yeah, we're great and we're hilarious.
Tell us how you are staying calm, and we will see you and hear you. Well, you'll see us and hear us next week.
Yeah, make sure you follow us and subscribe on YouTube and wherever else so you can either watch us talk at you or listen to us talk at you, and then comment on things and tell us how you feel.
All right.
Stay safe.
Peace
Wash
out.
your hands. Bye.